All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something that, on the surface, makes absolutely no sense. A real head-scratcher in the real estate world.
Okay, let's get right to it. You've seen the headlines, right? The housing market is, well, it's terrible. Home sales have hit lows we haven't seen in decades. So you'd think the companies selling those homes, the brokerages, would be struggling big time.
But here's the twist. The exact opposite is happening. While sales are tanking, brokerage profits are actually going up. It's a fascinating puzzle, and we're going to solve it today using some brand new data from an industry report. So first up, let's follow the money. We're going to unpack the surprising numbers here. Okay, just look at this. The trend is so clear. Back in 2023, you had just over half of these brokerage firms turning a profit. But fast forward to 2025, and that number is projected to hit nearly 70%. And get this is all happening while the market is in the tank. Now, you might be wondering, how are they measuring this profitability? Well, they use a metric called EBITDA. I know, it's a mouthful of an acronym, but don't worry about it. Just think of it as a way to get a really clean look at a company's core health. It strips away all the financial noise, things like taxes and accounting decisions, so we can get a true apples-to-apples comparison. And when we look at that core health metric, the shift is, wow, it's pretty dramatic. By 2025, only 30% of companies are in the red. I mean, that's a huge drop from 44% just a couple of years before. And this right here, this is the real story. It's not just that the big fish are getting fatter. No, the whole pond is getting healthier. We're seeing fewer and fewer firms bleeding money and posting those huge, scary losses.
So what's going on here? This isn't just a blip on the radar. All this data is pointing to something much bigger, a fundamental shift in how this industry works.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. The people who actually did this research, they call it a structural shift. And when you hear that term, it means this isn't temporary. It's a permanent change in how real estate brokerages operate.
So what's the new memo going around the industry? It's simple. Spend smarter or you're going to get left behind. That whole growth at all costs mindset, it's gone. Totally out the window. It's been replaced by this laser focus on being lean, being efficient, and being really, really smart with every dollar.
Okay, so how on earth did they do it? How did they pull off this incredible turnaround in such a bad market? Let's get to the core strategy. The most telling sign of their success, the real secret sauce, wasn't about the market at all. It was all about this: a dramatic improvement in profit per agent. So here's the 3-step playbook they used. It's actually pretty straightforward. Step 1. They looked around and identified the agents who just weren't selling anything. Step 2, they let those agents go, which cut all the costs tied to them. And step 3, bam, an immediate boost to the bottom line. They got leaner. And the logic behind this is it's simple, but it is so powerful. You see, an agent who isn't making sales still costs the brokerage money. We're talking about things like software, insurance, desk space. It all adds up. So if you eliminate those expenses for people who aren't bringing in revenue, your profit margin just goes up instantly. And this isn't just some theory from a report. This is happening out in the real world. You have leaders from major companies like Glenn Sanford from EXP publicly saying that this exact strategy, churning out unproductive agents, is really paying off for them. All right, so let's put it all together. What does this mean for the future of real estate? What does this leaner, meaner, more efficient industry actually look like? Well, the bottom line is that the rules of the game have completely changed. The whole industry has shifted from a growth mindset to an efficiency mindset. It's not about being the biggest anymore. It's about being the smartest. Profitability is now all about smart cost control, not just riding a hot market. And this means a brokerage's success is now tied to a smaller, more elite group of top-producing agents. So if you're a brokerage, you have to be incredibly careful about who you bring on board. And that leaves us with one final, pretty big question. In an industry that's now built on this kind of ruthless efficiency, where the focus is all on the top performers, what happens to the part-time agent or the person who's brand new and just trying to get their start? That's a question that's really going to shape what this industry looks like for years to come.